The swamp breathes like a living beast. Mist coils upward from dark waters, and every ripple hides a threat. A clan of early hominins, Australopithecus, their bodies lean and strong, covered in coarse hair, moves silently at dawn. They are not wandering, they are desperate. Food has grown scarce in the nearby savanna, and water has been poisoned by drought. The swamp is their gamble, a place feared, a place of secrets. Yet hunger drives them forward. What happens when survival pushes them into a world ruled not by lions or hyenas, but by creatures far more insidious, giant leeches lurking beneath the surface? Would they endure, or would the swamp claim them? The opening image, a mother carrying her child high above her shoulder, the baby clinging to her hair, while hunters wade knee-deep in murky water. The air hums with insects, each bite a test of patience. They move carefully, using sharpened sticks of stone-tipped wood to probe the depths ahead. Ripples scatter. Something shifts. From beneath the silt, a dark shape coils. A sudden splash, and one hunter jerks back with a cryless gasp. His calf is seized by a bloated leech, thicker than his arm, its mouth a ring of hooks. The others rush, prying it free with sharpened bone fragments. The man trembles, blood running down his leg, but he survives. The swamp has delivered its first warning. They press deeper. The clan knows what awaits: edible roots buried in the black soil, fish that dart beneath broad leaves, birds nesting above in the canopy. Survival requires risk, and risk is written into every movement. They spread out some climbing trees with flint flakes tied to branches, fashioning crude spears to strike at the fish. Others gather reeds, stripping fibers to bind wounds and weave makeshift baskets. Every gesture is primal yet ingenious, each invention born from necessity. But the swamp watches. A predator stalks silently, a crocodilian giant, its armored body blending with floating logs. The clan leader, scarred across his chest, senses it. He signals with a raised arm, halting the group. All freeze breaths shallow. The beast glides closer. Its eyes gleam amber in the gloom. The hunters spread in a crescent, spears poised. For a moment, time is suspended. The swamp itself seems to hold its breath. Then the crocodile lunges. The water explodes, jaws wide enough to sever bone. A young hunter dives aside, rolling into mud as spears thrust downward. Wood shatters against armored scales. One spear strikes true into a softer fold near the throat. The predator thrashes, rolling, dragging a spear into the deep. The swamp closes again, silence broken only by panting. The clan survives, but they are shaken. As the sun climbs higher, heat presses on them like a weight. The swamp stinks of decay. Their wounded hunter weakens, blood loss threatening his strength. A woman kneels beside him, packing his wound with crushed leaves, bitter herbs known for slowing the flow. The others form a protective ring, shielding them from unseen threats. Every eye is sharp, every ear tuned to danger. They are intruders in a world that does not forgive weakness. Yet another trial approaches, one the swamp has been preparing quietly. Beneath the stagnant pools, deeper than sight, the leeches gather. And now hunger drives them upward. The clan advances cautiously, but the swamp is relentless. Every step forward brings a new test. The water churns with unseen movement. Tiny vibrations ripple across the hunter's legs, a sign of something rising. At first it seems like drifting weeds, long black strands weaving between reeds. Then, one of the young foragers gasps, leeches massive and writhing, each as long as an arm, emerging in clusters. They cling to skin and hair with suction mouths, bloating quickly as they feed. A wave of panic passes through the group. Some thrash wildly, sending sprays of mud and water. Others remain still, knowing movement draws more attention. The leader acts. With deliberate calm, he rips reeds into strips, tying them around his limbs to shield bare skin. He motions for others to do the same. Hunters grab smoldering branches from a fire bundle they carried wrapped in bark. The smoke drives insects back, and the glowing tips are waved underwater, scaring some of the leeches away. Yet one child is pulled down suddenly, tiny arms thrashing above the surface. The mother lunges, clawing through water, while another woman plunges a sharpened stake beneath the surface. A leech, thick as a man's torso, bursts upward, writhing the child still clamped in its grip. Together, 3 hunters jab and pry until the creature releases, sliding back into the depths. The child coughs, alive but shaken. The swamp has claimed its toll of fear, but not of flesh. Still, the clan understands these waters are not just passage, but battlefield. They move together in tighter formation, every eye on the surface, every tool ready. The wounded man limps, supported by 2 others, his strength waning. If he falls, the clan risks slowing and predators circle weakness. Yet, leaving him is unthinkable. Blood ties hold them together. Evening descends with sudden violence. Clouds tower in the sky, black and heavy, and the first crash of thunder shakes the air. Rain lashes down in sheets, turning the swamp into a heaving cauldron. Lightning rips across the horizon, illuminating twisted branches like skeletal arms. The clan scrambles for higher ground, climbing toward a mound of roots and soil at the swamp's edge. They huddle beneath dripping leaves, soaked and shivering. Fire is impossible here, their ember bundles drowned by rain. Hunger gnaws deeper, and fear presses heavier. In the storm's chaos, a new danger emerges, not from the swamp's beasts, but from fellow humans. Shadows approach from the tree line, another band of Australopithecus. Their posture is hostile bodies, painted in ash, carrying crude stone clubs and spears. Competition is inevitable. The swamp cannot feed both groups. Lightning flashes again, and the 2 clans face each other across the mud eyes, blazing jaws tight. For a heartbeat, it is unclear whether they will attack or retreat. The leader of our clan grips his spear, raising it high to signal strength. The rival band snarls, beating their chests. The storm's roar drowns all sound, but the meaning is clear. One clan will dominate this territory, the other will starve. The swamp has shifted from enemy to stage for an even greater struggle, survival against their own kind. The 2 clans stand frozen in the storm, muscles tense, mud swirling around their legs. Every flash of lightning ignites their silhouettes like spirits from another world. The air is thick with the smell of wet earth and fear. Then, as if the swamp itself commands it, the standoff erupts. Rival hunters surge forward, splashing through black water weapons raised. The clash is primal spear shafts cracking against bone fists, striking mud-slick torsos. Screams are lost in thunder. The swamp explodes with violence, but it is not death that rules, it is survival raw and unforgiving. Our clan fights in formation, shielding their wounded, and their young using sharpened stakes and stone flakes bound with sinew. One rival lunges with a club, only to be dragged down by 2 defenders into waist-deep water, where leeches writhe, seizing flesh indiscriminately. Both friend and foe howl as the swamp joins the battle. Blood mingles with rain, and still the fight rages. Yet, in the chaos, the leader of our clan makes a choice not of conquest, but of endurance. He thrusts his spear into the mud, striking the earth with a roar that echoes above the storm. His people rally around him, pulling back into a protective circle. The rivals, battered by storm, bitten by leeches, realize the swamp takes more than it gives. Slowly, grudgingly, they retreat into the curtain of rain, their eyes promising this conflict is not the last. Exhaustion replaces rage. The clan, trembling and soaked, gathers atop the root mound as the storm passes. Dawn breaks, pale and gray, the swamp steaming in silence as if nothing had happened. Around them lie the remnants of the night's ordeal, broken spears, trampled reeds, scars carved into their skin. Yet the clan still breathes, and that alone is triumph. They share what little they have gathered: roasted roots unearthed from the soil, small fish speared in calmer pools, bitter leaves chewed for strength. The wounded man, though weak, smiles faintly as the herbs slow his bleeding. The child, once nearly lost to the leech, now laughs, splashing in shallow water, his voice a fragile defiance against despair. Around him, adults soften their fear, melting into quiet relief. As the sun lifts higher, drying their skin, the clan rises together. They move out of the swamp, not defeated, but marked by it, scarred, wiser, more united. The leeches, the crocodile, the rival clan, the storm, each test has forged them into something stronger. Their survival is not just endurance of nature, but mastery of themselves. And so, in this forgotten chapter of 6-7 million years ago, life does not merely persist. It transforms struggle into legend,